Now, everybody knows that music, don't they? From my ear, anyway, and a little bit more. In today's vlog, my friends, we are off to a pub of one of Hollywood's most famous movie stars. I mean, Ulverston. It's a bit of a giveaway because there's a statue of them both over there. One of them was born right here in Ulverston, and that was Stan Laurel, my friends, and we are off to the Stan Laurel pub today, which is in Ulverston. It apparently serves some fantastic food, so I'm looking forward to this. They are renowned for their fish and chips and also their steak and ale pie, and they also have some specials on as well, so I am looking forward to this. And absolute legend. That is when movies were worth watching. I mean, they were hilarious. I think we've got building work on here. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, click the little bell for notifications of when I upload new videos. Now, without further ado, my friends, let's go.
Well, here's another nice mess you've gotten me into. You once told me your father was in the lumber business.
Well, I know he was, but it was only in a small way.
What do you mean, small way?
Well, he used to sell toothpicks.
You know, I'm not as dumb as you look.
You bet your life you're not. Anybody that could think... What do you mean you're not as dumb as I look?
Even the music was great, wasn't it? Now, why am I starting the video here on a street of terraced houses? Well, because for a very good reason, actually, because right over there behind me, with the blue windows there, or the blue frames anyway, the blue and white, that, my friends, is where Stan Laurel was born, right here in Ulverston, many, many years ago. Let's go and have a quick look.
Well, this is your idea. Coming all the way from America to Switzerland to sell mousetraps. Whatever gave you that idea?
Well, I thought there'd be more mice here than anywhere.
And just why should there be more mice here than any place else in the world?
Well, don't they make more cheese here?
It makes the hair stand up on the back of my neck and my arm, actually, because he was really was a Hollywood legend of all time, wasn't he? I mean, movies are not the same nowadays, are they? Anyway, we're going to head over now to the pub, to the Stan Laurel pub, and go and try their food out. While you're here in Ulverston, if you are visiting, as I said, there is an official, I think it's the world's only official, I'm sure it's the world's only official Laurel and Hardy Museum, just around the corner from where I started the intro, where the Laurel and Hardy statue is. So take a look at that as well and check that out while you're here. Anyway, let's go and get some food before they stop serving. Right, now then, my friends, here we are at the Stan Laurel Inn in Ulverston. This is when movie stars were movie stars, my friends. That's when Hollywood was Hollywood. Back in the day, back in the good old days. We're going to head in there, have a little bite to eat. There's some memorabilia as well. Don't forget, you can actually see the Stan Laurel and Hardy Museum, the world's only official Laurel and Hardy Museum. Now, let's get in there, have a bite to eat, and I believe they've got a good selection of beers in there as well. What was he saying, by the way? Was it, "That's another fine mess you've got me into, Stanley"? I don't think it was quite that, was it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Apparently they've got some good food, because one of the viewers of the channel actually said you need to get in here. They've got some great food. So let's get in there and let's tuck in, have a look at the menu. Don't know what I'm going to have yet. Fancy a pie, but I had that the other day. Maybe a sausage, or I know that they do a Yorkshire pudding filled with meat, or that might be special. Anyway, let's get in there and have a look. Come on.
You know, it's a well-known fact that all the happiness in a home, when you have a baby and there's a wife and you and the baby, it's a well-known fact. I know. I've read about that.
I'm beginning to think that you're right.
You bet your life I'm right. You know, I'm not as dumb as you look.
You bet your life you're not. Anybody that could think. What do you mean you're not as dumb as I look? Didn't you once tell me that you had an uncle?
Sure, I've got an uncle. Why?
Now we're getting someplace. Is he living?
No. He fell through a trapdoor and broke his neck.
Was he building a house?
No, they were hanging him.
Call me a cab.
Huh?
Call me a cab.
You're a cab.
Right, here we are inside the Stan Laurel Inn now. Decisions. Do I actually go for the fish and chips, or do I go for the pie, the steak and ale pie, which has got a puff pastry lid? Some will say that that is not a pie because it hasn't got sides on it. I can see the comments already. Anyway, have a closer look at the menu, my friends. Right, so I've ordered the steak and ale pie with chunky chips. I've had to go for a Diet Coke, otherwise, really, because I'm driving. Otherwise, I would have liked one of the Stan Laurel beers there, but can't do that, unfortunately. I've got a strict no drinking and driving rule. Maybe I'll have to come back and stay here. I think they've actually got bed and breakfast here by the looks of it. It says on the front here, bed and breakfast. Maybe I might have to do that one evening. Anyway, I'm looking forward to this. Right, well the goods have arrived. This looks absolutely fantastic. I think I'll unzip my fleece there and get into this. Now, we've got the steak and ale pie here. As I say, some will say that this is not a pie because there's no sides on it, but what does that make a shepherd's pie then? Let me know, or, well, we won't go into that. Let me know in the comment section down below. The chips look great. The veg there, nice and fresh. They've got a little bit of a glaze on them as well. I am looking forward to this. Let's take the lid off of that. Wow, lots of chunks of meat in there. Anyway, before we go any further, just take a closer look, my friends. Right, lovely light pastry there. I shall put that over there. Nice and flaky. Look at that. Crikey, layers of flaky pastry there. Let's go in for the chips first. These look absolutely fantastic. Look at them. Not anemic, nice and golden. It's like crispy on the outer. And look at that. Light and fluffy on the inner. I think I'm going to get some vinegar on here. A little bit. Ooh, might have poured a bit too much on there. And let's get some salt on here as well. There's lots and lots of meat in here. Morsels of meat in there. Just look at that. Look at the steak in that. They've not skimped on that at all. Oh, that is tasty. Nice thick gravy as well. Got some nice fresh veg here. Healthy veg. Oops, losing my flaky pastry. Wow, that is very flaky. Right. I think what I'll do is I'll eat this and then we'll sum it up outside, but it is fantastic. And just look at these chips again, look at that. Oh, I tell you what, I'm struggling now. It's not very often you go to pubs these days for pub grub and pub food, and you're struggling to finish it. It's very, very tasty. So I'll see you guys outside. I might need to sleep after this. Right, my friends. Actually look a bit like Stan Laurel with his hairdo, don't I? That was absolutely fantastic. I tell you what, I need to sleep now. It was so filling, so much meat in there, but it did leave one question unanswered. Was it a pie or not? I mean, is it just meat in a dish with a pastry sort of like casing over it? The pastry casing, by the way, the flaky pastry was, I mean, if I'd have eaten it outside and it was windy, it would have blown away. It was that light and fluffy. It was amazing. But so much steak in there, really, really full of steak in there. Tasty, gravy nice and thick, chips amazing. Took me back to my mum's times. That's twice actually. I did one the other day where Richard Hammond goes to. Love them kind of chips, proper chunky chips, nice and golden on the outer, fluffy on the inner, superb. The actual veg as well, nice glaze over them, very fresh. Also peas in the pod. Lovely, absolutely tasty, and it comes to 18.70 I think it was in total with my Diet Coke. That's lots of memorabilia in there of Stan Laurel, and thoroughly enjoyed it. I tell you what though, really I should have stayed over. I think it said, I'm sure it says bed and breakfast. It did on the menu anyway. So, you know, check that out. You might be able to stay there, have some Stan Laurel beer or lager, have a meal, and then have a few and then trot off upstairs to bed. That's all from me today. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comment section what you thought of it also, and let me know, was it a pie or not? Just leaving a question unanswered, isn't it? It's another fine mess they've got me into. And on that bombshell, hit the subscribe button and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. You all right?
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Sorry.
Bye.